Hi, buddy. It's Jeff doing another one of these videos on various topics about language, linguistics, and language technology, and all those kind of things. Kind of depends on which video it is. The one today I want to kind of quickly focus on, and I'll try to make this one short. It's about who are the best people to actually hire to be able to do um, language or software. I'm going to call it software product selling. Okay, um, and we can and I encourage a lot of people that are in these different other fields. I'm going to call them industries, fields, to be able to find ways to get a job. Okay, and some of the times you might be actually working in the wrong field because that's what you wanted to do, but in the end don't get a can't find a job to do it. And I think that there are a lot of good fields that can actually people in working in different fields that actually can work well in the software industry without doing a computer science degree. Okay, and I want to talk about this. Um, and I've seen this happen. Okay, I've seen this actually happen, and it worked really well. Um, so usually what happens, I'll come from the point that come from the standpoint that people that do computer science degrees are usually people that have done well in mathematics, okay? And they're kind of detailed people. And they like to get into details, and they get into the real details of things. And they don't like to summarize things too much and stay at the high level. They like to kind of dig into the details. Let's say it that way. They like to be granular, kind of that thing where you really want to go down to the little detail. It's deep, no, yeah, that kind of thing. Okay. Now, I found, and I do remember from a job that that I worked on about 15 years ago, where what they did was for solution selling, okay, and this was for language technologies. I'm going to say that for that specific thing, for the solutions technology, for the language technology solutions, okay, not for the services, but for the solutions technology stuff, okay. What they did was the company hired people with any degree, really anything, psychology, history, economics. It didn't really matter. And they had a sales farm. They actually had they called it a sales farm, in which they would do is they'd send everyone through this exact same training thing, how to sell solutions, how to sell solution technologies, and it worked. And the people that actually did well with it were not the necessarily people that had a degree in computer science at all. Okay, the people that had degrees in like philosophy and history and psychology actually did pretty well. I'll tell you why. Is because the language services and language technology kind of field is there's this kind of thing where you have to do a degree in translation or interpretation or something to be able to be successful, which I'll say is a bunch of BS. Okay. Um, Now, to be able to do some production work, that helps. It does help. But actually, the domain expertise is more important. But for the product selling, the thing that really works with product selling is you got to tell a story. You got to learn how to tell a story, and you got to learn to engage with your audience. And the problem with all these people that have been sitting there doing translation and interpretation is they're all kind of locked out in their corners, doing their booth things and kind of working in things, and they're working all alone. And that doesn't work for a user interaction, okay? So what works well is when you've got somebody that has a background in psychology, because they're used to talking to people, okay, and working with people, and understanding I don't want to say the user, the patient, the person, and understanding their need. Okay, thing about history, folks. Cool thing about history, folks, is okay, and I'll say there are good history folks and not good so good history folks. Okay, so we got to kind of qualify that too. But people that are really good that are really well remembered for doing history classes. Okay, I've got a history class, a history professor, Dan Skalberg. At Multnomah University, he was the most enthusiastic person. It was addictive. You just loved his stories. Okay, Dan, I'm calling you out, and I've told you, and I made a recommendation on LinkedIn. Probably you were just addictive. You're just addictive. It made me want to do it. And I've kind of repeated that thing and kind of done it the same way, my own way, but it's just been kind of similar, enthusiastic, to tell stories. And history folks are good at telling, if they're good, they tell stories. And telling stories, telling us what is good in software products selling, okay? That's what works. I did a whole another video on that one too. And there are other places right now on LinkedIn talking about storytelling for software. I mean, this is just all over the place, folks. So this is not just me. This is other people saying the same thing. So if you are looking for a place to be able to do what you do, don't focus on the field itself, okay? Focus on the skills that you've learned from doing that and use them in a different field that makes the money, okay? Just, I don't say make money. It's not that everybody wants to be rich. You just want to do well. You want to be able to, have a place to live and have food on the table, not to worry about the end of every month what you're actually, if you're going to have money at the end of the month or not. And be able to, take your family on a vacation or do whatever, or go on vacation or whatever. Or to be able to just be able to do okay, and get by. And like what you're doing, okay? You got to be motivated when you do it. Now, people that know how to tell stories, you can actually tell stories in any field, okay? So this is like completely applicable to anything. But what I'll say is, so I'm kind of challenging two different groups here today. I'm challenging those that are looking for a job, and I'm challenging those that are looking to hire people for jobs, okay? I'm challenging two different groups of people here. If you're looking for the job, and you like to tell stories, and you're good at doing that with user interaction, that kind of thing, look at the software product jobs, because you'll do well at it. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's the beginning, because you got to break into that. And I've done that, and I did it at the right time, right thing, and it just was the right timing. But you've got to convince people that you can do it, or you got to get to the right company that actually wants to be able to, that understands this mentality and thinking we got to have computer science people to be able to do this product owner job, or this product management job, or this solution management job, or customer facing whatever management job, or whatever job, okay, or sales job, or pre-sales, or whatever, okay. For sales, you could actually be pretty good in sales, okay. I'm saying you could probably do pretty well in sales. But so I'm positioning at those people. Then I'm actually positioning back at the product, the product, software product thing. And I've applied for a lot of jobs in the software industry. I mean, a lot of jobs, and I've gotten a lot of jobs. And I've applied actually for a lot of just things recently for like internal fellowships. These are like 6-month stints that you can do in another team, and I'm getting a lot of responses that are really positive, okay. And a lot is because when I do my I do my resume, my curriculum, I do a little video and I tell a story, and it just works. They love it. They love this video approach. It's an addition to the CV. You just put it at the very top, do a little video, and do it. And this just bam, this is original. But I tell a story and I tell people how to zoom down into well, they don't tell a story so much. I actually tell my resume as a story. Okay, bam, it works. In lots of different types of jobs. So position yourself, if you're a job seeker, for in this way. If you are a person that's looking for people for jobs, think out of the box. Think out of the box, because a lot of you don't. You think that you got to have someone that comes from a certain school or a certain group of schools, and you only filter people out. And you're going to end up with people that are not so good, because they're all been trained in the same vanilla manner, vanilla flavor manner. You got to think. And sometimes people not having the degree that you think they need to have to be able to do the job it's something you need to really consider, because software selling and software explaining software things, it's not about math, okay? It's not. It's about being able to communicate with other people and to convince people who are not in the field, okay, to buy the product. You got to convince people that are, for language solutions, you got to convince people that are non-language lovers to buy the solution. If you're convincing people that are From business analytics. You're convincing people that are not in the field to be able to do this. You're convincing people that are, in all kinds of fields. I'm serious. What you're trying to do is you're trying to convince the people that have the money. And these people are not usually the people that have done the same the degree in the field that you're selling in. Okay? So you got to have people that are, you need to really think about people that have the skill set that you're looking for. And it may be actually out of the industry or field that your software is in. Okay, just being honest here. So think about it, take it as is, and this will work for some and won't work for others, and that's okay. But hopefully it works for a few of you. So thanks very much, and contact me if you got any ideas. Thanks so much. Bye.